Started with a 2-0 in the last game, but couldn't see it through.
Positive return of serve there from RYU, the long fast push deep into the backhand of Ma Long. There we see the serve and the long push took Ma Long by surprise. Tactics were good from Ma Long, getting out wide to RYU Seung Min's forehand. He was assisted by the edge of the table, as we see here. There he goes, and that thick edge just deviates the ball slightly. But just look how quickly RYU Seung Min gets across to that forehand side, almost makes the topspin. 1 point each.
Too loose on the serve there, Don.
Exactly, drifted long.
Ma Long doesn't need to be asked twice.
Certainly doesn't.
Tactic again. Reasonably clear. Ma Long going once again to RYU Seung Min's forehand, making him play the backhand there, as we see, the block, and then straight out the angle.
It was interesting just watching the actions of Liu Guoliang, and he was clearly mentioning get out wide to his forehand, then get back into the backhand. The tactics paying dividends.
The angles that Ma Long can generate, even in the defensive blocking mode, really making RYU look going right round, and then he himself, Ma Long, goes round to take advantage, his own forehand going parallel, and I think that's 2 or 3 points that we've seen RYU Seung Min unable to play back onto the table wide on his forehand side.
And that's an error from RYU Seung Min. He had the opportunity to make that forehand topspin, just can't afford to do that. The push fairly long, but that was a pretty straightforward forehand topspin for a player of the ability of RYU Seung Min. He'll consider that an error. The crowd trying to lift RYU Seung Min. A very popular player throughout his career.
Just too loose on the serve. He needs to be more, a little bit more tight. Needs to give himself the opportunity to dictate the points. Once Ma Long gets in, very difficult to win the point.
That's the master in action. He comes in to return the serve with the racket slightly open, as though he's going to push the ball, and then all of a sudden the wrist angle changes and he flicks through the ball, elbow, wrist, and that was an outright winner, out wide to RYU Seung Min's forehand. 7-1.
Can RYU Seung Min come back from this at 2 games to 1 down, 7-2 down? It's a long way back, but it has been done before. But I'm not sure on a day like today, the way Ma Long's been playing, not only today but over recent weeks. A little bit fortunate there during the rally. One of Ma Long's touches clipping the net. RYU Seung Min making the adjustment, as we can see. He did well there.
RYU Seung Min makes a good topspin there, but just the counter topspin from Ma Long and the determination, steely determination, the mental toughness. So in answer to your question, Johnny, no, I can't see RYU Seung Min coming back. Not against Ma Long, anybody else possibly, but Ma Long to me at the moment is the complete player. Strong backhands, strong forehands, good serves, excellent return of serve. Although, as soon as I say that, he pops one up mid-table.
I think we forgive him one once in a while. Leads 8-4 here. Timeout. And a timeout called. Not sure whether it was the player called that or Liu Guoliang, the coach.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Johnny. In the team event, which obviously we are here, the coach can call timeout, but often the coach and the player may have a relationship whereby the coach is quite happy for the player to call it, and the player likewise is quite happy for the coach. I'm sure in some situations the coach retains the right to call it whenever they want and the player has no input. In the individual events, the player calls the timeout, although once again there can be a special relationship between player-coach. I must confess, in my 12 months now working on the ITTF Pro Tour. Liu Guoliang is the expert with the timeouts. Tactically, 9 times out of 10 he gets it right. Clearly here, he knows he's got a timeout. Why not use it? His player's 8-4 up, just lost a point. Let's not take any chances. Let's take a pause. Let's just make sure everything's right. 4 more long. Mentally here, it's going to be the mental side, the concentration side. The danger is he may think, I've done it, but of course against RYU Seung, you've never done it. So you get that 11th point, but the player's now back at the table.
8-4.
Marlong with his 2 serves to come. And that's exactly what Liu Guoliang was looking for, just a break in play, come back, Marlong to take the first point, and now it virtually is all over. Reactions were awesome there from Marlong.
The crowd enjoying that one. Marlong now with 6 match points in the first match of this final.
And I'm sure the crowd now think it's all over.
It is now. Sorry, Dawn, I followed you up. You teed me up for that one. Fantastic rally to end. And there we see the players shake hands. Marlong winning 13-11 for RYU Seung in the first game, but Marlong strong in the